أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، بارئ الخلائق أجمعين، باعث الأنبياء والمرسلين، ثم الصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه العبد المؤيد والرسول المسدد، حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. قال الله تعالى في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم: وأما الذين سعدوا ففي الجنة خالدين فيها ما دامت السماوات والأرض إلا ما شاء ربك عطاء غير مجذوذ. صدق الله العلي العظيم. عطروا أفواهكم بذكر الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد. We continue in our journey in search of happiness. We began this talk last night with inspirations from personal experiences, from the experience of others, successful individuals, those whom have achieved happiness. So this is an emotion that everyone is in search of. No one can say that I'm not looking for happiness. Even those that are happy might still argue that we're still in search of happiness or more happiness. More happiness. This is an emotion that everyone is in search of. People are willing to move to different countries. People are willing to move to different continents with the hope of finding some happiness. If not all of happiness, at least some happiness. People are willing to make big sacrifices. In fact, sacrifice loved ones, sacrifice people in their own family for the sake of starting another family, for the sake of finding happiness. Perhaps, maybe if I start a new family, maybe I would be happy, just maybe. People are willing to do anything for just a bit of happiness. So yesterday we spoke about 8 points, 8 ingredients to happiness, and tonight inshallah we will continue from where we left off. وصلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Ingredient number 9 is to have an ultimate goal in life. Is to have an objective in life. If you don't have any goal in life, you'll definitely not be happy. Nothing will be worth it because there's no goal. Why go through hardship? Why go through trials and tribulations? Why go through difficulty? What makes it so worth it? Nothing will be worth it. Why? Because you don't have a goal. You don't have an objective. Every day you wake up and you go with the flow. Wherever the day takes you, wherever you end up at, you're fine with that. You don't have an objective in life. What is your goal in life? What is your mission? What are you here to accomplish? Do you have a higher goal? Do you have a higher purpose? Believe me, my dear brothers and sisters, we all have a goal in life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put us on earth for a reason. For a reason. Each and every single one of us has to have a sense of purpose, a sense of goal, a sense of objective. What am I doing here? Men or women? Men or women? You have to have a goal. You have to have a destination where you're trying to reach, a goal that you're trying to reach. If you don't, nothing seems to be worth it. All the trials and tribulations in life that you go through, nothing is worth it. It's meaningless and it causes you depression and sadness and you never become happy. But if you have a goal, despite all the odds, you go against all of the odds, despite all of the difficulties in your life, it's all worth it. Why? Because you have a goal. You're trying to reach someplace. You either have a divine goal, you have the intention of serving Islam, serving Muslims. You have the intention of serving your religion, your country, your school of thought, your city. You could sacrifice a lot. You could lose a lot. But as long as you're reaching your goal, you're happy. You're satisfied. Because you have something to accomplish. من أسباب السعادة أيها الأعزاء أن الإنسان يكون صاحب هدف في الحياة. عنده هدف في الحياة. عنده نوع من الطموح. شنو هدفه في الحياة؟ أكو البعض الله وكيلك ما عنده أي هدف. يأكل ويشرب وينام ويقعد ويسهر وما عنده أي هدف. يقول له عمي أنت شنو دا تقدم؟ شنو دا تسوي؟ شنو هدفك في الحياة؟ منا إلى سنة، منا إلى 5 سنوات، شنو تريد تنجز؟ شنو إنجازاتك؟ شنو هدفك منا إلى 5 سنوات؟ وين تريد توصل؟ يقول لك منا إلى 5 سنوات أنا ما أدري، منا إلى 5 أيام شنو أريد أسوي؟ منا إلى 5 أيام أنا ما عندي خطة، فكيف منا إلى 5 سنوات؟ ما عنده هدف في الحياة. هذا الإنسان مو بس فاشل، هذا يشعر بفراغ روحي ونفسي، ولا يشعر بالسعادة. لا يشعر بالسعادة، يشعر بالفراغ. بينما الإنسان الذي له هدف سامٍ في الحياة، هذا الإنسان يشعر بلذة، بارتياح. عنده هدف، يريد ينشر الإسلام، يريد ينشر التشيع، يريد يخدم العباد، يريد يخدم البلاد، يريد أن يأتي بإنجاز جديد، باكتشاف جديد. هذا عنده هدف، فتذلل له الصعاب. يشوف ايش قد صعاب في الحياة سهلة له، مو مشكلة، لأنه عنده هدف أسمى. Let me give you an example. For example, you live in Iraq. Living in Iraq is not easy with all the corruption, the weather. 6 months out of the year, it's summer. The heat, lack of electricity, the pollution, driving laws. No one pays attention to driving laws. It's difficult. But if you have a goal, if you have a higher purpose, if you have a higher goal, whether it's in Iraq or Africa or India or anywhere else in the world, where the standards are not like the standards in Canada and the US, but you have a higher goal, it's worth it. And you'll be happy with it. You'll be happy. You don't have electricity, that's fine. The weather's horrible, that's fine, because you have an ultimate purpose. You have an ultimate goal. For you, it becomes worth it. طيب. Number 10, you have to realize that you cannot please everyone in your life. And one of the reasons why you're sad and unhappy is because you're trying to please everyone in your life. Everyone in your life. You're a people pleaser. You cannot sleep if there's one person that complains about you, that has said something about you, that has said something negative about you. You can't sleep at night. Obviously, you'll never be happy. You have to realize that you cannot please everyone. Not everyone in your life, those who you encounter, those who you work for, or those who work for you, you can't please everyone. من أسباب السعادة أن الإنسان يدرك أنه لا يمكنه أن يرضي الجميع. مستحيل أنت ترضي الجميع في حياتك، جميع الأصدقاء وجميع الأقارب وجميع الشركاء وجميع من تعرف، تريد الكل يرضون عنك. مستحيل. هذا لا يكون. يوم من الأيام موسى عليه السلام سأل الله، قال إلهي أنا أقوم بهذه الرسالة وأقوم بهذه الدعوة، ولكن أطلب شيئا في المقابل، أريد رضا الناس. قال الله تعالى يا موسى خصلة لم أجعلها لنفسي، كيف أجعلها لك؟ أجعلها لك؟ خصلة لم أجعلها لنفسي. الناس علي مو راضين، الناس على الله مو راضين، علينا يرضون؟ مستحيل. فعلى الإنسان أن يدرك أنه لا يمكنه أن يرضي الجميع. راح يكونون بعض زعلانين منه، خليه شو يسوي بعد هاي. مستحيل يرضي الجميع. والله يريد يعيش بتعاسة لأنه أكو البعض زعلانين منه. مستحيل. You can't please everyone. You're bound to offend some. Some people will be offended by you. It's impossible that you please everyone in your life, all of your acquaintances, all of your friends. It's impossible. You have to live with that. You have to live with the fact that some people are going to be upset at you. خلاص بعد. You have to don't care. You have to learn to say, I don't care. if someone is upset, as long as you're doing the right thing. Unless you're hurting people, that's a different story. If you're hurting people, you're actively offending them, that's another story. But if you're going about doing your own thing, and between you and Allah, you're doing the right thing, some people are going to be offended, but that's their problem. You're going to have to learn how to say, I don't care. I don't care. I'm doing my job. I'm going about my business. If some are not going to be satisfied, that's their problem. It's not my problem. That's one of the ingredients to happiness. Number 11. And this is very, very important. Stop overthinking. One of the ingredients to happiness in life is to stop overthinking. Give your mind a rest. من أسباب السعادة أيها الأخوة والأخوات الأعزاء أن الإنسان لا يكثر من التفكير. أكو تفكير إيجابي صحيح مطلوب. التفكير في الخلق، التفكير في العلوم، التفكير لطلب العلم، هذا التفكير ممتاز. أكو لا، تفكير مضر. أنا صار عندي ألم بصدري، لا يكون هذا مرض خطير، لا تصير بي جلطة، لا يكون بي سرطان، زين بي ذاك المرض الخبيث. يقوم يفكر ويفكر 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 إلى أن يصير بي شيء، يتمرض، يموت. هذا التفكير مضر. Overthinking is very dangerous, my dear friends. Sometimes we have to put our minds to rest. A lot of times we overthink unnecessarily. I have some pain in my stomach. Immediately I assume it's cancer and I start thinking about it. Day in and day out. I develop paranoia. Well, what if this is cancer? What if this is this? What if this is that? Or I get in an argument. I get in a fight with someone, a relative, a friend. I overthink it. I overanalyze. Why didn't I say this? Why didn't I say that? Why did this person say this? Why did they say this to me? Why did they shake their hands this? I overanalyze, overthink. This destroys us. This causes us anxiety, stress, depression. التفكير غير المنطقي والتفكير الزائد المفرط. التفكير في أمور تافهة. فلان ما سلم علي، هذا عنده غرض، هذا مغرض. أو فلان شو كان بارد وياي، ليش كان بارد وياي، أنا شنو مسوي له. تقعد تفكر في أمور تافهة. هذا التفكير مضر. هذا التفكير مضر. الإنسان أحيانا يولد في عقله أفكار، أوهام هي ما موجودة. هذه الأوهام تدمره، تدمر حياته. الإنسان أحيانا لازم يبطل عن هذا التفكير، يخلي عقله يستراح، دماغه يستراح. بطل من التفكير. شكوك، ظنون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن إن بعض الظن إثم. زين، يولد عنده شكوك وظنون وأوهام وتفكير زائد في صحته، في علاقاته مع الناس، في علاقاته الزوجية، أشياء فارغة. تولد عنده الاضطراب، تولد عنده حالات نفسية مضرة جدا. طيب, number 12, and this has proven to work. Sometimes you have to tell yourself that you are happy. One of the ingredients of happiness is to tell yourself you're happy. Don't tell yourself you're miserable. Some people, all they do is complain. I'm so miserable. I can't find a wife. I can't find a husband. My parents are abusive. My siblings are this. They're abusive. I can't stand them. I can't find a job. I'm so miserable. Because you're thinking you're miserable. A lot of our misery, we create it in our heads. We think we're miserable, so we become miserable. Sometimes let yourself know that you're happy. You're doing fine. And you could be doing fine. You will improve. You will enhance. You're fine. There's nothing wrong with you. It's in your head. A lot of times, our misery is in our head and our happiness is in our head. I have a relative that went to India recently. He said, I saw things in India that I haven't seen anywhere else in the world. You know, some places in India, people are born on the sidewalk. They live on the sidewalk and they die on the sidewalk. They don't see a roof over their head throughout their entire life. They're born, raised, die on the sidewalk. They eat on the sidewalk. They sleep on the sidewalk. They live on the sidewalk, but they're content. He said, I passed by a group that were eating on a sidewalk in India, eating, but they were fine. They were happy. They were content. Although they live on a sidewalk. They've never had a roof on top of their heads. Why? Because it's all in their head. Because they feel happy. They feel content. Sometimes it's what you tell yourself. أيها الأعزاء السعادة أحيانا تأتي من التلقين النفسي أن تلقن نفسك بأنك سعيد. البعض منا يلقن نفسه بأنه تعيس، راح يعيش التعاسة. أنت صنيع أفكارك، أنت تصنع نفسك من خلال أفكارك. من يقول لنفسه بأنه مريض يصبح مريضا، من يقول لنفسه بأنه سعيد يصبح سعيدا، من يقول لنفسه بأنه تعيس سيكون تعيسا، يكون تعيس. أنت لقن نفسك أنك لا، أنت وضعك جيد، أنت سعيد، أنت وجدت السعادة، أنت قنوع، سعيد بما لديك، بما تمتلك، تكون إنسانا سعيدا. الإنسان اللي من الصبح لليالي يلقن نفسه أنا حظي هيك وحظي هيك وحظي الأشقر هيك وحظي كذا وأنا تعيس، راح يعيش التعاسة، دائما يعيش التعاسة، لأنه هو ملقن نفسه، هو ملقن نفسه التعاسة فيعيش التعاسة. Let me give you this story that I've read, how sometimes our subconscious mind affects our bodies. They say that a truck driver, you know those truck drivers that contain refrigerators or freezers rather. There's a freezer in the back of the big truck. Those that carry food, what are they called? Reefers. They carry food for example, Walmart, for Costco, So they say that a truck driver, he went in, he arrived at, for example, a supermarket. He was unloading the food from the truck and he accidentally got locked in. Accidentally got locked in. He went inside, the door got locked. Now he's where? He's standing in a what? In a freezer. He's standing in a freezer. How long can you last in a freezer? How long can you fast? How long can you last? 10 minutes? 30 minutes? 1 hour? 5 hours? The man was stuck for 3 days because it was on a Friday evening, Saturday and Sunday or weekend. They came on Monday and they saw him what? He was what? He was dead. He was dead. They came on Monday morning, they opened the truck and they found the driver to be dead inside the freezer of his truck in the back. But what was interesting is they saw that the freezer was not even on. The freezer was not even on. It was normal temperature. How did he die? How could he have possibly died when the freezer was not even on in the truck? You know how? Because he thought of freezing to death, so he froze to death. He thought he was going to freeze to death, so he froze to death. He had frozen to death. But because it was all in his head, he told himself that, khalas, I'm going to die I'm going to freeze to death, so he died. We do this to ourselves. Our mind, our psyche, psychologically, it affects our bodies. Tell yourself you're happy, you will be happy. Tell yourself that you are going to be depressed, you live a sad life, you're going to live a sad life. It's all what you tell yourself. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Number 13, avoid jealousy and envy. This is a very important ingredient for happiness. الحسد أيها الأعزاء. الحسد يولد التعاسة. الإنسان الذي ينظر إلى حياة الآخرين، فلان شنو أكل، فلان شنو لبس، فلان وين سافر، وين راح، وين إجا، هذا الإنسان يكون تعيسا. اللي يواكب الآخرين ويعيش الهم مع الآخرين، فلان شنو لبس، فلان شنو أكل، فلان وين راح، هذا الإنسان ما يتوفق، يعيش التعاسة، ما يجد السعادة، لأنه مو قنوع، دائما عينه على الآخرين. Being jealous and envious will never allow you to be happy, because you're always keeping up with others. What are others wearing? What are others dressing? Where are others eating? Where are they traveling to? Where did they go? You'll never be satisfied with what you have. This will destroy you. This will never give you a peace of mind. That is why, look at people in your lives. If you know any people that are envious, that are jealous, you will see that they are never happy, never satisfied. They can't be, because they're always comparing themselves to others. يقول عليه السلام لا راحة لحسود. Someone who's envy will never be happy. They will never be comfortable, because they're constantly comparing themselves to others. طيب. Number 14, an ingredient to happiness is love the ones in your life and feel loved by them. This is so important. Those in your life who love you, your friends, your family members, your siblings, your parents, don't take them for granted. Feel their love. Treasure their love. Don't take it for granted. That gives you happiness. The idea of people loving us, our family members, our spouse, my children, my relatives, my friends, those who show me love, those who treasure me, I treasure them back. For me, that is happiness. For a lot of people, that is happiness. To have the love of people, to have the love of your friends, that is happiness. A lot of people own so much, but no one loves them. No one cares about them. They don't have friends. What happiness is that? If you have no one to love you, no one to respect you, if you have no friends, what sort of happiness can you ever achieve, even if you own millions? True friends. Having true friends, that is bliss. That is happiness. الإنسان الذي يمتلك صداقات حقيقية له أصدقاء أوفياء أعزاء يحبوه وهو يحبهم، هذه هي السعادة. أنت ماذا تريد أكثر من هذا؟ عندك أصدقاء يحبوك، يتفقدوك، يسألون عنك، إذا غبت عنهم يتفقدوك، هذه هي السعادة. وإذا ملكت الكثير من الأموال والعقارات لكن ما عندك أصدقاء، لا يفتقدك أحد. شايفين بعض أحيانا في المسجد، في المجلس، إذا أحد المؤمنين غاب، البعض إذا غاب يوما ما الكل يسأل عنهم، يتفقدهم. هاي سعادة، هذا توفيق. هذا من السعادة أن الإنسان يفتقد، يتفقدوه عند غيابه. لا يوجد شيء أجمل من هذا. وأكو بعض الناس لا، إذا غاب أسبوع زمان أحد ما يسأل عنه. هذا الإنسان تعيس، هذا لا يعيش السعادة حتى لو يملك الكثير من الأموال. To be missed, to be loved, that is happiness. To have friends where you can have deep conversations with them, enjoyable conversations with them. Enjoy those moments. Those moments should be treasured because those are happy moments. It could be one conversation, one deep conversation with a friend that could give you happiness for years, for months. This is something to be treasured, not to be taken lightly. Number 15. Stop getting angry at petty things. A lot of times, we think that we're happy, but we get angry at petty things, small things. This destroys us. الإنسان الذي يغضب لأمور تافهة، هذا يحصل لكثير من الناس. يغضب لأمور تافهة، هذا الإنسان لا يجد السعادة. الذي يغضب لقضية تافهة، ابنك يصير له حاجة يقوم يضربه، زوجته حكت لها فد حكاية يعصب عليها، يغضب عليها، يغضب، ينفعل، ينفجر. هذا الإنسان لا يجد السعادة. الذي يغضب لأمور تافهة وبكل سرعة يغضب ينفجر، هذا الإنسان لا يجد السعادة. الإنسان لازم عنده أعصاب هادئة، يعيش البرود، ما يعصب. هذا الإنسان يجد السعادة. الإنسان اللي ينفعل لأتهف قضية مع ابنه، مع بنته، مع زوجته، مع زوجها، في الدوام، في العمل، بالسيارة، وهو دا يسوق وينفعل، هذا الإنسان ما يصير، لا يجد السعادة. Controlling our anger, not getting angry at petty things. at work, or when we're driving. When we're driving, someone cuts us off, I lose my mind. I completely lose my mind. I have to go and cut that person off on the road. There's a lot of people who have road rage. You see them, they're ordinary people, but as soon as they get behind the wheel, they become monsters. This person can never be happy. This person will never reach happiness. If you have a battle every time you get behind the car, and behind the wheel in a car, and you get road rage over petty things, or your child broke a glass, or your wife said something, your husband said something, and you get worked up. You exaggerate. Your anger is exaggerated. You can't reach happiness this way. Control your anger. Choose your fights. Choose your battles. Don't get upset. Choose what you get angry over. Not petty things, not small things. That will destroy your life. Number 16. Stop trying to impress others. Stop trying to impress others. A lot of times we try to impress people in our lives or people that we don't even know them, which is even worse. Trying to impress complete strangers with our clothing, new clothes, new watch, new shoes, new purse. With posting pictures online, we filter it out. Make sure we post the nicest picture. Why? Because I have followers. People are going to watch. I'm trying to impress. I have someone to impress. And at the end of the day, I try to impress others, but I'm not happy. I'm not happy. How am I happy with impressing others? If they're impressed or they're not impressed, what is it that I gain? Because of a like? Because someone said, MashaAllah? Because of something that I wore? Or something that I said? Or because of my car? The vehicle that I drive? This is silly. الإنسان عليه أن لا يحاول أن ينال إعجاب الآخرين. البعض منا يحاول أن ينال إعجاب الآخرين. يلبس الملابس الراقية، الأحذية الراقية، يخلي العطر الراقي على مود ينال الإعجاب. هاي خاصة عند الشباب، يحاول ينال إعجاب الآخرين. زين، نلت إعجابهم أو لم تنل، أنت شنو استفدت؟ وين وصلت؟ أين السعادة التي حصلت عليها؟ نلت إعجابهم أو لم تنل؟ السعادة وين؟ السعادة وين؟ خاصة على السوشيال ميديا، تشوف الصور اللي ننشرها والفيديوهات اللي ننشرها كلها نيلي إعجاب الآخرين. زين، أنت وين تريد توصل؟ شنو استفدت؟ نلت إعجابهم أو لا؟ اترك. أنت ركز على نفسك. Stop caring about what others think. What others think of you. As long as what you are doing between you and Allah Azza wa Jal, you're doing the right thing, it doesn't matter what others think of you. It doesn't matter what others are saying of you. Stop caring of how people are judging you and stop impressing others. Live your life. Live the moment. Stop caring about what others will say about you and how others see you trying to impress others. This will not get you anywhere. Number 17, an important ingredient for happiness. Know that everything happens in life for a reason. There's a reason why this happened. And so there's no reason to be upset. You didn't marry the one that you love. There's a reason. There's a reason behind it. You didn't get the job that you wanted. You didn't get the promotion that you wanted. It's all in the hands of Allah. Allah didn't provide it for you for a reason. Perhaps it was bad for you. Perhaps it wasn't meant. Perhaps it could have destroyed you. You would have married the person that you love, the person that you wanted. But perhaps this person would have been bad for you, bad for your family, bad for your faith. This person would not have been a good father or a good mother. الإنسان عليه أن يعلم أن كل ما يحدث في حياتنا فهو لحكمة لمصلحة. الله عز وجل لله في خلقه شؤون. كل ما يحصل في حياتك اعلم أن هناك مصلحة وراء ذلك. انتقلت إلى بلد معين، مثلا أنت كان عاجبك تجي إلى أمريكا مو إلى كندا، أكو مصلحة. تزوجت فلانة دون فلانة لمصلحة. حصلت على هذه الوظيفة ولم تحصل على تلك، مصلحة. أكو مصلحة إلهية نحن نجهلها. كل ما يحدث في حياتنا لمصلحة معينة. الإنسان عليه أن يجد السعادة في ذلك. أن الإنسان يرضى لرضا الله، يرضى بقضاء الله، يسلم أمره إلى الله، يقول إلهي كل ما أنت تختار لي أنا راضي، أنا راضي، كل ما تختار لي أنا راضي، وأنا سعيد بذلك، أجد السعادة بذلك. خلاص, be content with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has provided you. Know that everything has a purpose, has a reason. Something did not happen for you, it wasn't meant to be. Last year you could not go for Arba'een, for example. Don't kill yourself over it. It wasn't meant to be. Maybe Allah was saving you for this year or the next year. Something did not happen. It was not meant to be. Perhaps you would have been damaged, you would have been hurt. Know that everything that happens in your life happens for a purpose. Allah has a purpose. It's better for you that way. Look at what Imam Al-Hussein alayhi salam in Dua Arafah, this fabulous dua, this beautiful dua. Dua Imam Al-Hussein alayhi salam في يوم عرفة يقول إلهي أغنني بتدبيرك لي عن تدبيري وباختيارك لي وباختيارك عن اختياري. Oh Allah, you plan for me. Don't let me plan for myself. You choose for me. Don't let me choose for myself. There's a lot of shabab, there's a lot of youth, and Laylatul Qadr is coming up, and they have a list of du'as and hajat. Oh Allah, and one of them is, I want to marry this person. Oh Allah, allow me to marry this person. Don't teach Allah. Don't tell Allah what to do. Tell Allah, oh Allah, choose for me the best person to marry. Don't give names, because who knows that that person is good for you. Maybe that person is not good for you. Or, oh Allah, I want this job in this city, in Toronto, not anywhere else. Maybe Allah has something better for you. Maybe Allah has a better plan for you. Don't teach Allah what is best for you. Ask Allah to choose what is best. وباختيارك عن اختياري وخر لي في قضائك وبارك لي في قدرك. Oh Allah, bless what you have chosen for me. Bless the destiny that you have chosen for me. إلى أن يقول حتى لا أحب تأخير ما عجلت ولا تعجيل ما أخرت. Wow, powerful words. Very powerful words by Imam Hussein alayhi salam. He says, allow me to be satisfied and love that which you have chosen for me, so that I will not want what you have delayed for me to be hastened, or that which you have hastened for me to be delayed. Yani what you provided me at that time, allow me to accept it and love it. Accept it. Be satisfied with it. Be happy with it. Anything that you've hastened for me now, I would want. Anything that you've delayed for me for the future, I accept it to be delayed. That is happiness. Accepting Allah's will. Accepting Allah's qada. What He's destined for us. What He's written for us. That is part of happiness. But if you're constantly questioning Allah, why did He do this? Why did He do that? Why didn't He destine this for me? Why did He destine that for me? You'll never be happy. You'll never be happy. Allow Allah to plan for you and be satisfied. Be satisfied with what He's written. I found a quote that I found interesting. The quote says, the secret to being happy is to find peace where you are, even if you're not yet where you want to be. Where are you now? You're not where you want to be, but you're happy with that. That's the secret of happiness. Be happy with what you have, even if it's not where you want to be. I saw another interesting quote that says, don't cry that it is finished. Smile that it has happened. A lot of times we cry when something ends in our life, a relationship, a journey, a trip. We come back after Arba'een, we come back after a retreat, after a beautiful vacation, after meeting someone and this person is leaving. We start crying. Why are you crying that it ended? Smile that it happened. Be grateful that it happened. Change the tears into a smile, and that is happiness. Change the depression into happiness. وأخيرا, number 19, always and always remember the tragedies of Ahlul Bayt. Your tragedies will seem minimal. Your tragedies will seem like nothing. من أسباب السعادة أيها الأعزاء أن نتذكر مصائب أهل البيت صلوات الله وسلامه عليهم. نعم، هذا من أسباب السعادة، وإن كان أمرا حزينا أن تتذكر مصائب أهل البيت، هذا أمر حزين، ولكن عندما نتذكر رزايا أهل البيت تهون عندنا المصاعب وتهون عندنا المصائب. Remember the tragedies of Ahlul Bayt and our problems will seem minimal. What am I going through? I have to move to another city, or I didn't get a job, or I didn't get married, or I lost a loved one. I have to deal with loss. But look at what the Ahlul Bayt had to deal with. The Ahlul Bayt had to deal with a lot more. That will decrease the size of our tragedy. The poet says, أنست رزيتكم رزايانا التي سلفت وهونت الرزايا الآتية ومصائب الأيام تبقى مدة وتزول وهي إلى القيامة باقية. When we remember the tragedies of Ahl Bayt, our problems will seem minimal and perhaps we can reach happiness. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إني أسألك أن تجعل فيما تقضي وتقدر من الأمر المحتوم في الأمر الحكيم، من القضاء الذي لا يرد ولا يبدل، أن تكتبنا من حجاج بيتك الحرام المبرور حجهم، المشكور سعيهم، المغفور ذنوبهم، المكفر عنهم سيئاتهم، وأن تجعل فيما تقضي وتقدر أن تطيل عمري في خير وعافية، وتوسع في رزقي، وتجعلني ممن تنتصر به لدينك ولا تستبدل بي غيري. أعوذ بجلال وجهك الكريم أن ينقضي عني شهر رمضان أو يطلع الفجر من ليلتي هذه ولك قبلي تبعة أو ذنب تعذبني عليه. ولأرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات والعلماء والشهداء نقرأ سورة الفاتحة مع الصلوات.